Hi. I think this summer should be for the whimsical medieval fantasy girlies. And so if you are looking to have a medieval girl summer, here are 8 book recommendations I have for you so you can really lean into the vibe. The first one I have for you is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. And I actually read this one very early on this year, I think in January. And it was my first 5-star read of the year, and it might very well possibly be my top read of the year. It has Lady Knights and Forgotten Legends and a very unique take on time travel, and of course, a love that transcends through time. And I thought this book was just like absolutely heartbreakingly beautiful. Like it was so good, and I highly, highly recommend it. Next is The Isle in the Silver Sea. This is a sapphic standalone romantasy with a knight, a witch, and an assassin. This one also has a love that transcends time and a lot of medieval folklore. Next, we have The Second Death of Locke, and this one I actually haven't read yet, but it is also on my TBR for the summer. It is about an undying bond between a knight and their mage, and the quest they undertake to protect the child of an enemy kingdom. I've also heard that the banter in this book is really, really good, so I'm super excited for that. Of course, if we're talking medieval fantasy, I have to bring up The Priory of the Orange Tree, which is an absolute journey, but one that is so worth it. This book is a brick, which I think throws a lot of people off and intimidates a lot of people into not reading it, but it is absolutely filled with adventure and action and dragons and badass women and some of my very favorite world building in any fantasy book I've ever read. And along with Priory, of course, I have to mention the prequel book, which is A Day of Fallen Night. Again, this book is absolutely jam packed with adventure and action and dragons and badass women. And I actually think I enjoyed this one quite a bit more than Priory of the Orange Tree. I think mostly because I read Priory first. So I kind of already knew the world and how it worked. So I wasn't trying to like focus on the world building and everything like that. I could just really dive into the story. But both are absolutely phenomenal reads and I cannot recommend them enough. And actually, like as long as those books seem, I shockingly wanted them to be even a little bit longer. The Assassin's Apprentice is next on this list, and this is another one that I actually have not read yet, but it is one that I'm going to read so soon, and it is one that I have heard nothing but good things about. I have heard that it is very character driven, which are some of my very favorite books. I love a character driven story, and it is about a secretly trained assassin who must protect his kingdom from raiders. The Knight and the Moth is next on this list. And this is also one of my very favorite books. It is very dark, very gritty, very gothic, and our female main character is a seer who sees visions in her dreams sent by omens, which are the gods of this world, and a heretical knight, and the two end up having to work together. I cannot wait for the second book, which I believe is being released in September. So if you're wanting to read this book, now is the perfect time to pick it up, and then you can jump right into it when the new book is released. And last but not least is an absolute classic, the Princess Bride. If you have watched this movie and you liked it, but you have not picked up the book yet, you absolutely should. It is just like the movie, but you get so much more. And if you have watched this movie and you didn't like it, my suggestion for you is to try again because you're wrong. And if you haven't watched this movie and haven't read the book, what are you doing? Why not? So if you need me this summer, I'll be reading about dragons and sword fights and lady knights and convincing myself that I absolutely would survive in medieval times. I also have more medieval inspired book recommendations for you. So if you would like a part two to this, and you need to really lean into the medieval girl vibes this summer, even more so, let me know and I'll make a part two. Thanks for watching. Bye.